Have you ever wondered what real strength looks like? No, I'm not talking about how much you can bench press at the gym or how tough you appear under pressure. I'm talking about quiet strength, the kind that doesn't make noise, doesn't need to prove itself, but still keeps you standing tall when life throws its biggest storms your way. Picture this. You wake up every morning even when you're exhausted, and you keep going. When everything around you feels like it's falling apart, you remain steady. This isn't the flashy strength you see in action movies. It's the quiet victories, the kind of strength you might not even realize you have. Today, we're not talking about the obvious traits you associate with strength. Instead, I'll share 7 subtle signs that prove you're truly strong, ready to uncover the unshakable power within you. Let's dive into this journey together. 1. You face your fears head-on. Facing your fears isn't something everyone can do, but you're different. If you choose to stare fear in the face instead of turning away, that's proof you're truly strong. Strength isn't about never being afraid. It's about how you respond when fear shows up. You understand that fear isn't the enemy, it's a challenge, and you don't back down from challenges. Think back to the last time you faced your fears. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, taking on a risky project, or starting over after a setback. Even with your heart racing and your hands shaking, you stepped forward 1 step at a time. And what happened? Not only did you conquer the fear, but you also uncovered a newfound confidence and strength within yourself. Stoic philosophy reminds us, fear isn't a barrier, it's a stepping stone. When you face your fears, you don't just overcome them, you move closer to opportunities, growth, and the best version of yourself. Each time you say, "I've got this," you're not only defeating fear, but also inspiring those around you to see that real strength isn't about never being scared. It's about how you rise despite it. Strong people don't let fear block their path. They understand that the whispers of doubt, "What if you fail?" or "What if you're not good enough?" aren't truths, but tests of their resolve. Instead of letting those whispers hold them back, they use them as fuel to keep moving forward. So if you're someone who chooses to face your fears, be proud. It's not just a sign of bravery, it's proof that you're capable of overcoming anything. Every time you confront fear, you're building resilience and becoming a stronger, more empowered version of yourself. And that's the ultimate sign of true strength. 2. You take responsibility for your actions. Taking responsibility for your actions is one of the clearest signs of true strength. It's not about perfection or never making mistakes. It's about owning up to them when they happen. And if you're someone who does this, let me tell you, you're stronger than you realize. Think about it. How many people avoid responsibility? They point fingers, blame their circumstances, or make excuses to protect themselves from criticism. It might feel easier in the moment, but it ultimately holds them back. Not you. You have the courage to look in the mirror and say, "This one's on me." That's not just strong, it's extraordinary. When you take responsibility, you're doing something powerful. You're reclaiming control over your life. Instead of being a victim of outside forces, you're saying, "I have the power to make things right." Every mistake becomes a lesson, every misstep an opportunity to grow. That's resilience, that's wisdom, and that's what sets you apart. Let's not forget, owning up to your actions earns respect. When people see that you're willing to admit when you're wrong and work to fix it, they trust you more. They admire your honesty and integrity. You inspire them because you're showing them what real strength looks like, not avoiding failure, but learning from it. Stoic philosophy reminds us that strength lies in how we respond to life's challenges. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By taking responsibility, you're choosing to grow instead of staying stuck. You're choosing to use your flaws and mistakes as building blocks for something greater. So, the next time you reflect on your choices and take accountability, remind yourself, that's not just a sign of strength, it's a testament to your character. You're proving that you're not just surviving, but thriving. You're showing that you're not afraid to face yourself and improve. That, my friend, is what makes you a truly strong person. Keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring more people than you know simply by being you. 3. You set boundaries and stick to them. Boundaries are the unsung heroes of living a strong, balanced life. If you're someone who knows how to set boundaries and stand by them, understand that you're doing one of the bravest things most people struggle to do. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about creating space for you to become the best version of yourself. Think about the last time you had to say no to something, even when you knew it might disappoint someone. Maybe you declined an invitation to a party because you needed to recharge after a long week. Or perhaps you turned down extra responsibilities at work because your plate was already full. At first, you might have felt a pang of guilt, but later you realized that your decision preserved your peace and allowed you to focus on what truly mattered. This not only showed that you value your time and energy, but also sent a clear message to those around you. You respect yourself. The philosophy teaches us happiness comes from self-mastery, and self-mastery begins with setting boundaries. Strong people understand that they can't pour into others if their own cup is empty. They prioritize themselves so that when they give, it comes from a place of abundance, not exhaustion. That doesn't mean setting boundaries is easy. Sometimes people will push back, guilt-trip you, or accuse you of changing. But strong people don't cave under pressure. They hold firm because they know that saying yes to everything is the fastest way to burn out. Here's the magic. When you set boundaries, the wrong people will fall away, but the right ones will step up. These are the people who respect your strength and value the healthiest, most focused version of you. Boundaries don't make you selfish, they make you wise. They allow you to prioritize what truly matters, nurture meaningful relationships, and protect your inner peace. If you're someone who dares to say no when necessary, creating space for the things that fulfill you, take pride in that. You're not just safeguarding yourself, you're showing the world that you know who you are, what you stand for, and where you're headed. That, my friend, is true strength. 4. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but if you can face it, you are truly strong. Strength doesn't mean pretending you have everything under control. It means being brave enough to say, "I'm not okay," or "I need help." That doesn't make you weak. It makes you authentic. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed, whether it was a project that pushed you to your limits or an unexpected challenge in life. Instead of suppressing your emotions and pretending everything was fine, you opened up to a trusted friend. You shared your worries, and what you received in return wasn't judgment, but support. That's when you realized that admitting vulnerability not only relieved the pressure, but also opened the door to understanding and connection. Stoic philosophy reminds us, we can't control what happens around us, but we can control how we respond to it. When you admit you're not perfect, you free yourself from the burden of pretending, paving the way for personal growth. Vulnerability is the beginning of change. It's how you recognize that imperfections are not signs of failure, but parts of your journey to becoming better. What's important is knowing that not everyone deserves access to your vulnerability. You choose wisely, not because you're closed off, but because you respect your emotional well-being. That's a sign of strength. The strongest people aren't afraid to share their stories or show their scars. They know that each scar is a testament to resilience, a chapter in their story of overcoming adversity. If you've ever thought you needed to carry everything on your own, remember, it's okay to say you need help. It's okay to admit you can't do it alone. That's not weakness, it's courage. In vulnerability, you find not only freedom but also the strength to transform your inner world. And you are living proof of that strength. 5. We keep going when life gets tough. Perseverance is one of the clearest signs of true strength. When life gets hard, the easiest thing to do is stop, give up, or let the circumstances overwhelm you. But you don't do that. You choose to keep going, no matter how tough the road becomes. And that choice proves you're far stronger than you may realize. Imagine a marathon runner. They know there will be grueling stretches, their legs ache, their breath feels like it might give out. But instead of stopping, they focus on putting one foot in front of the other. That's you. When life throws challenges your way, a lost job, a failed relationship, or a dream that feels out of reach, you don't let those obstacles define you. Instead, you say, "This isn't the end. There's still more for me ahead." Stoic philosophy teaches us what matters is not what happens, but how you respond to it. When you persevere, you're not just confronting adversity, you're transforming those challenges into stepping stones for growth. Perseverance doesn't mean running at full speed or achieving everything immediately. It's about not stopping, even when your progress feels too small to notice. That's true resilience. A strength rooted in your belief in yourself and your ability to overcome anything. There will be days when it feels like all your efforts are in vain, but remember, it's in those moments that your greatest strength shines, the ability to push through when it's hardest. A strong person isn't someone who never stumbles. It's someone who rises after every fall. You've done it before, and each time you do, you become more resilient and ready to take on whatever comes next. If you're walking a rough road right now, remind yourself that every step forward matters. Each time you choose not to give up, you're not just moving closer to your goal, you're building a stronger, more admirable version of yourself. And that's what true strength is, not in achieving it all, but in never giving up. 6. You lift others up. Lifting others up is an act of true strength, but not everyone has the courage to do it. In a world where competition is often celebrated over collaboration, offering support can be misunderstood as a sign of weakness. But if you've ever celebrated someone else's success, extended a helping hand without expecting anything in return, you've already demonstrated a rare and remarkable kind of strength. I once knew a friend who helped a younger colleague at work. She didn't have to do it. There was no direct benefit to her. But she saw potential in her colleague and willingly mentored and encouraged him every step of the way. The result? Not only did the younger colleague succeed, but she also built a deep, trusting relationship and created a positive environment for them both to thrive. Stoic philosophy reminds us, we rise by lifting others. Strong people understand that strength isn't about overshadowing others to shine, it's about creating opportunities for mutual growth. They know that by encouraging others, they build trust and foster a community where everyone feels valued and supported. Supporting others doesn't mean sacrificing your own happiness. Boundaries are essential. You can't lift others up if you're running on empty yourself. But when you find balance, when you support others while maintaining your own strength, you become a beacon of inspiration for those around you. True strength isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about how you help others achieve theirs. Every time you take a moment to listen to someone, encourage their dreams, or simply believe in their potential, you're making a bigger impact than you realize. You're not just helping them overcome challenges. You're building a legacy of kindness, trust, and resilience. If you've ever lifted someone up, be proud. You're proving that strength isn't in competition, but in collaboration and support. Keep spreading encouragement, keep believing in others, because when we lift each other up, there's nothing we can't achieve. You are the embodiment of the strength this world needs more of. 7. You stay true to yourself. Staying true to yourself is one of the most powerful acts you can do in life. Amid constant societal pressure, expectations, and endless comparisons, holding on to your identity is not just a challenge, it's a bold statement of courage. It's a clear sign of someone truly strong, someone who knows who they are and isn't afraid to live it. Imagine being in a group of friends where everyone agrees on something you can't stand behind. It would be easy to nod along just to fit in. But instead, you choose to voice your perspective, knowing it might not be popular. That action doesn't just take courage, it shows integrity. You're not swayed by the noise around you or the pressure of the crowd. Stoic philosophy reminds us, no one can control your thoughts but you. When you stay true to yourself, you find inner peace and build a solid foundation for every decision you make. This isn't about stubbornness or arrogance. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about adaptability without losing your identity. This doesn't mean you're inflexible. Strong people know when to adapt and when to stand firm. They understand that strength isn't about being unchanging. It's about knowing what you're willing to compromise on and what's non-negotiable. When you decline something that doesn't align with your values or boldly pursue a less traveled path, you're demonstrating extraordinary strength. Living authentically isn't just a personal act, it's an inspiration. When you dare to stay true to yourself, you encourage others to do the same. You become a beacon of hope, showing that in a world full of pressure to conform, authenticity is irreplaceable. You inspire simply by being who you are. If you've ever felt different or pressured to be someone else, remember that your uniqueness is your strength. Never trade your identity for temporary approval. When you stay true to yourself, you're not just becoming stronger, you're part of something greater. You are proof that real strength comes from authenticity, not from trying to please the world. And that is what makes you truly unshakable. So if you found yourself in these signs, congratulations. You're one of the rare individuals who knows how to embrace solitude. You don't need a crowd to feel fulfilled, and that's truly admirable. Instead of diving into shallow conversations, you choose quiet moments to connect with yourself. Instead of seeking validation from others, you've discovered strength in your own authenticity. But remember, being a loner doesn't mean cutting off all connections. Stoic philosophy teaches us balance is key. Solitude gives you space to grow, but meaningful relationships are where you share and amplify your values. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment about your experience. You could be the inspiration someone else needs, someone trying to find joy in their quiet moments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more insightful content. Thank you for being here, and always remember, staying true to yourself, whether in solitude or with others, is the greatest strength of all. See you in the next video.